And Wilma at Buderim, and today I want to show you these sweet potatoes I dug. I've only just walked inside from harvesting this lot here out of 5 plants. So these are adjacent to some of my dragon fruit, and there's some beautiful sweet potatoes here out of the 5 plants, and I'm digging them before any rats or mice get into them. So what happens is, well, that's the top. What happens is the runner gets quite fat, and the runner grows along the surface, and the sweet potatoes grow off the runner and into the ground. What happens is the rats will find them and chew them off at the top, and then eat down as far as they can. And so what you end up with is sort of a shell at the top, and then a bit at the bottom. So that one there, you probably still get a fair amount back, but a shorter one, you'd hardly get any. So that one there, that's the top. That one there, you'd probably get maybe a little bit at the bottom. But anyway, so I got them before the rats. And you can see here, this is out of 5 plants. And we've still got quite a few more to go. Now this lot here, we dug that's out of 3 plants. So the 3 plants here and the 3 plants there, there's some cherry tomatoes that come up in amongst them. And I thought I'll harvest these and let the cherry tomatoes grow. And then when I'm ready to, in about another 5 or 6 weeks' time, I'll plant potatoes. Now this was out of 3 plants, and I want to show you the prize. This here is out of 2 plants. So this one down the bottom here.
Are you hiding it for a surprise?
Look at that. Now this is out of 2 plants. You can see with this big one where something started to eat it, and that's what prompted me to harvest them. See, there's a bit of a mark there where something started to chew it.
Yes.
Even though I caught a mouse yesterday in my trap, but there are things chewing them under the soil. I don't know what that is. But
that's the biggest one we've ever grown, isn't it?
I think it is close to the biggest I've ever grown. Now, last year we hardly got any sweet potatoes at all. We grew a lot of vine, and we had to buy we had to buy a new lawnmower, so I bought a professional mower that the professionals use, just so I could chop up the sweet potato vine. So I lay the sweet potato vine on the lawn and then just run the mower over it and then use it for mulch, or I can use it in the worm farms. So last year we had more rain than I've ever seen for early in the year than I've ever seen in 40 years. It was just continually wet. And what happens is, because I grew the sweet potatoes like I normally do on the surface, the roots were kept wet. So therefore, apparently, so I found out, the sweet potatoes won't grow any tubers while the roots are continually wet. All they do is grow vine. So, but I did notice there was a little bit of a raised area, and that had a few decent sweet potatoes in it. And it prompted me to look on the internet to see why, what happens if the wet weather, continuous wet weather, prevents them from growing tubers. And so what I did this year was I decided to hill them up and grow them on hills. And this is the result of the first 2 plants that I planted early in the spring.
They weren't all that elevated though, were they?
Yeah, no, I've just made a bit of a mound.
Yeah.
A bit of a mound, so that they're not if they do get a lot of rain, they're not sitting in wet weather or wet soil the whole time. So this is the result of that, and we've got a cyclone bearing down on us. And I thought I'll get all these dug before the cyclone comes. But as it turns out, we might dodge a bullet. I think it's going to go further south and go south of Brisbane now. We're about 100 k's north of Brisbane, so it looks like it's going to go into Brisbane or south of Brisbane and down towards northern New South Wales.
Hopefully, unless it does a U-turn, although we don't really want anyone to.
We might get a bit of rain, but I think the highest rainfall we're expected to get now is only about 70 mil, whereas before they were saying 100 mil for about 3 days running. So anyway, this is why I'm doing this inside. I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier that there's a lot of wind outside and it's making a lot of noise on the camera. So this is my sweet potato story. So over the next couple of days I'm going to clean them up and cut them up and blanch them and put them in the freezer. And then we'll have them all through the year, as well as all the other ones we've got growing in the garden. So I'll leave the other ones and let them grow a bit bigger, similar to these two. So I haven't mentioned that these sweet potatoes, these two plants were the first ones that I planted early in the spring, and I used those plants for runners. So I cut runners off them to plant all the rest out. So that was my strategy. All right, well, better close now. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.